Hey, Sean, just wanted to ask, I know that Trey is eligible to come off IR now, this week. Are there any updates on his status right now that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, he continues to improve in his rehab, and we'll get him back out there when he's ready. Really, that's all I have for you.
And we saw there was a report about Jameson Crowder could possibly be missing some time. Can you just give us an update on him and also Isaiah McKenzie, who left the game with concussion?
Sure, Heather. Yeah, so JC is a broken ankle. He's likely to be placed on IR here shortly. Isaiah is in the concussion protocol.
Great, thanks, Sean.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, I know you mentioned day by day here with Trey. Any belief that he'll come off IR this week?
Well, he's on PUP, right?
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, PUP. Sorry.
Yeah. No, we're just taking it one day at a time. And again, we'll get him back when he's ready to get back out there.
And then with Ed Oliver, it's been a couple weeks now. We've seen him be limited in practice and still hasn't been able to go. What's the fine line with him? It seems like he's kind of on the cusp, but maybe not ready enough. Is there any concern that this is kind of lingering here, or what's really been the reason that he's seemed to be limited and trending, but not getting back on the field for games?
Yeah, I just think, we didn't feel like he was in a good enough spot last week to play, to get back out there. So I think Ed, amongst the other guys too, Jordan Phillips, Jay Kumro, Christian Benford, Justin Murray, all those guys are improving, and we'll see where they go this week. Our hope is that they're back out there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about Taron Johnson and his growth a little bit. I think maybe early in his career, maybe you'd see a little bit more of a heavier set. You want to go against a team like the Ravens and some tight ends, but you've really kept him out there a lot, even against some of these tight ends like Mark Andrews in 2 catches. I know it's a team effort, but just Taron overall really plays a lot of snaps, even in those situations. If you could just speak to his growth as far as that, and physically especially.
Yeah, man, he's just really developed over the years here, in the system and in the environment, and he's loved by his teammates. I think he really enjoys being here, and it's just fun to watch a player develop and really get comfortable in the systems to where they can make it their own, put their own signature on it, so to speak. And man, he's physical, he blitzes well. He's really good in coverage as well. And, he gives us a lot of flexibility with what we try and do on defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, Alex Brasky with the Batavia Daily News. You chose to receive the opening kickoff yesterday. Typically, you've liked to defer in the past. What went into that decision?
Yeah, I mentioned that after Alex yesterday, I believe. It just, the forecast looked like it was going to start off, light, if anything, in terms of the precipitation there with the rain, but it was scheduled or forecasted at least to pick up, and it did pick up. It just didn't pick up to the intensity that was being forecasted there in the second half. But it did get tough in that second half to catch some balls in there and whatnot. So yeah, that was really the only reason why we wanted to try and take the ball and score points while the weather was good in the beginning there.
Seemed like Tremaine, Edmunds, and Matt Milano really had a productive game yesterday. What did you see from them, and how important are they to what you do defensively?
Yeah, both played really well. Both of them are off to a great start, and their leadership, their intensity, their communication is big for us. And I know they made some really big tackles, especially on Lamar in open space there.
Coach, Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, Coach. 3rd and inches. How much does it concern you, with your guys not converting there?
Yeah, those are situations we need to be able to convert, no doubt about it. We had one of them yesterday, and we didn't convert. So, we go back and we adjust. It's what we do. There's a lot of data that comes at us, a lot of information early in the season, that we try and grab hold of it and learn from it and do the proper research and adjust. that's what we do, and that's how you grow. That's how you evolve as a football team through the course of the year.
Coach, down 17. How much did you enjoy coaching that comeback yesterday?
Oh, it was great, man. I thought the staff did a great job. The players didn't flinch, and we just kept playing, one moment after another moment, and one play at a time. And I thought the execution was really, really high. That last drive in particular, the way we finished it off in the red zone there, and the way that we handled that situational football. And then T-Bass coming out there to put it away was great.
Yes, good afternoon, Coach McDermott. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How are you doing this afternoon?
Good, George. How are you?
Great coming back last night from Baltimore. Man, you brought a whole plane full of happy fans coming back. Man, they were very happy about that win. So you made everybody's night last night. I can tell you that.
That's good to hear. Good to hear, George.
Yes, indeed. Two quick questions for you. One, do you think the slow start might have been attributed to the week prior with the heat exhaustion and the heat and the whole 9 yards from that Miami game and guys not really practicing fully the entire week? Might that have attributed to the slow start, do you think?
I don't know. It may have been a couple variables in that equation there. That may have been one. It was a loud environment, and then we just weren't executing. We weren't doing our collective jobs there. And so I really appreciate how the guys settled in though and started to really execute, especially kind of midway through late in the second quarter there.
Yes, indeed. And last question on the way, because I see they changed the rules obviously on the practice squad. Now you have what up until Saturday to make changes or announce who's coming off the practice squad to be active onto the next day game roster. And I noticed you have Tavon Austin and Duke Johnson there. Those guys could possibly step into that used role that you are going to lose for a while with Jameson Crowder out with the broken ankle.
Yeah, we've got some options there. Both of those players have done a really good job for us on the practice squad, and so we'll just see where it goes here.
All right, thank you for your time, Coach. Good luck this coming week.
All right, George, thanks.
Hey, Sean. I was curious, saw Ed kind of working out that ankle in pregame. Obviously, he didn't go, but how close kind of was he? And do you, I know you mentioned the injuries, but where do you kind of see him right now?
Ed? Yeah, so I think I already answered this question. I said he's improving. Jordan Phillips is improving. Jake Kumro, Christian Benford, Justin Murray, they're all improving.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask, Damar obviously played a lot of what Micah would normally have done out there. Just how have you kind of seen his progression specifically, and why do you feel like he's a good fit for what Micah was doing out there?
Well, it's not trying to be Micah. There's only one Micah. It's Damar being Damar and fitting into the system, and the system fitting into him and his strengths as well, right? So he's a young player that I thought took a step yesterday in the game, Atlanta, and is going to continue to improve. And I think there's no substitute for experience. So I liked some of what we saw out there, and I think him being around Jordan, and then you've got Quan back there, and Cam has been back there as well, Cam Lewis. So we've got some options back there that it's a good competitive environment back there with those guys on a week-to-week basis for us.
Is there anything specifically, you mentioned he took maybe a step forward yesterday, anything specifically that you think he's improved on or is doing well lately?
Well, I thought he tackled well at times yesterday. I mean, the tackle that led to the stop in the red zone there at the end of the game was a big tackle. And so those are small moments that add up over time. Yep.
Hey, Sean, I was actually going to ask about Damar too. So just to follow up a bit on that, just over this last stretch, as he's now worked his way up to starting these last two games, what have you seen from him behind the scenes as well?
In terms of Damar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been interesting and fun to watch Damar and Quan. I mean, they're good buddies and two class young men that do a great job. And, they continue to improve each week. And I think they go into every week and they prepare like professionals prepare. So just watching their process through the week is exciting because, they're getting themselves ready to play come Sunday, right? And so they put a lot of time in, but now they're taking another step in terms of their direct involvement with the defense. And Damar had a good outing yesterday, and we'll see where it goes moving forward here.
How do you see them balance both helping each other get ready for that, but then also, on days like yesterday where there will be only one of them starting, balance that back and forth?
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? They played together in the Miami game when Jordan was out, and now there was only one spot open with Jordan coming back there. So I just love that they're both preparing, and that's really, there's only one spot, but they both have to prepare like they're going to start. And that's true of every backup, and we've seen that on our team to this point with guys getting banged up during games and backups having to step in. I thought Khalil did a great job of that yesterday when we had an injury there to JC and Isaiah, and the tight end position. Quentin Morris has done a good job of that as well, as well as the defensive line position. So and others, to be honest with you. So I really appreciate that, and the coaches do a great job of preparing those players, and those players take the ownership of making sure they're ready to go.
Thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, Brooke Pryor with ESPN in Pittsburgh. I know you're early in preparing for the Steelers this week, but just curious, with the lack of clarity the Steelers have with their quarterback position right now, just what kind of challenge does that present for your defense as you kind of get ready to get ready for them?
Yeah, I mean, it presents a challenge to some extent, but we got to prepare for their system more than anything. This is a team that beat us last season at our home field. They were in the playoffs last season. They're a good football team, well-coached football team. So we got to move on and get ourselves ready for a good Pittsburgh Steelers football team here.
Sorry, and along those lines, just with Kenny Pickett, I know you said there's a lot of things that on your end you have to work on, but Pickett, he's only played a half. How do you prepare for a quarterback when there's not a lot of tape and he is a rookie going in, potentially making his first real start?
Yeah, you just got to prepare again for what you know. Those are the controllables that we can control. And other than that, we've got to really focus on ourselves. And we start every week with a healthy amount of respect for the opponent. And I think that's a good place to start.
Hi, Sean. Tim Benz from the Tribune Review here in Pittsburgh, following up a bit on what Brooke had just asked there, but more about Mitch. You know him. How can we expect him to handle himself and the way he'll go about his business in this role here in Pittsburgh?
Mitch, in terms of what role?
In terms of being unsettled right now as to whether or not he's the starter or the backup.
Yeah, Mitch is a pro, had a great opportunity, and it was a pleasure to be around him and his family. For the year we were around each other last season, and he's a class act, true pro. I have nothing but great things to say about Mitch, and he's a leader. So he would handle it. I'm sure it won't be easy for him, but he'd handle it with class, like I know he would.
We've only seen him for 3.5 games here. Is there a higher ceiling for him to reach if you were to stay on the field more often?
That's not for me to answer, honestly. He's a good football player. He's a great person, and the rest is balls in Pittsburgh's court on that. We had a lot of good moments here when he was in Buffalo with us.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Chris Halleck with DK Pittsburgh Sports. The last time when the Steelers came there, TJ Watt had a pretty big impact in the game. How much are you looking forward to playing this defense without him on the field?
Well, he's an impact player. There's no doubt about it. Injuries unfortunately happen, and we've got some of our own. So you adjust and you try and overcome what you're dealing with. And so that's what we're doing. We're focused on ourselves and trying to get ourselves ready for a good football team coming here.